I wanted to ask y'all: is there any movie? Because I was watching a throwback movie yesterday, Richard Pryor, The Toy, like 82, 81, and I was like, this is one of my favorite disrespectful movies because what he was doing was so disrespectful in that movie.
Modern day slave movie?
I'm talking about disrespectful, but the movie is cold.
But it was trying to teach the little white kid about
Bro,
family.
He showed up in a box though, fam, like in an actual box with like a bow on and stuff like that.
Trying to get to that bag.
So, are there
by any means?
And you know what's
any
messed up? I watched that movie. I think it was on HBO Max, and so I remember enjoying the movie as a kid and not thinking about the social and structural implications.
Because you liked all the toys he had.
I thought, I was like, this kid is living a life.
Is Gene Wilder in this too?
No, you talking about Stir Crazy?
No.
It had the little dude from Christmas Story, the one that licked the pole.
You know, I don't know if I've
He was the main
actually.
The
character.
toy, it was Jackie Gleason.
Jackie Gleason, yeah.
I
He
don't
was
know
his
if I've
dad.
ever actually seen the toy. I'm thinking of it was like I think it was a Gene Wilder movie, but I think there was like a factory and toys or something. I don't.
Are you thinking?
No, you talking about Gene Wilder's in.
Are you thinking about the movie Toys with Robin Williams?
Maybe I don't know. I'm gonna have to look this up. Maybe it is toys. Yeah, I think that yeah, it is Robin Williams. Is what I'm thinking.
But anyway,
anyways, sorry.
What disrespectful movie that now that you see that you've grown? Can you name any more that you like? Because that's one of my favorite ones. It's just, like when he had
we grew up on a lot of disrespectful movies.
Give me
so
one
I
that
don't
stood
even
out
know.
to you. You can't think of one that stood out. That's one of my favorites. It's mad disrespectful, but it's a good movie though. Like Fan had to dress up as a server, like in a dress, and
I'm about to watch this. I don't remember.
You
this
remember?
movie
You know?
at
You
all.
remember that, Jay Moore?
No, because I remember if you had the good cable back in the 80s, there's certain movies that came on all the time.
Yeah,
That was
And
one. Mask was one.
Mask came
Mask.
on. I feel like what was the with Rocky Dennis? What was the movie? Lucas. Lucas came on every Sunday.
Lucas. What was Lucas? I don't remember. Lucas.
I don't know
Lucas,
that
that was one with Corey Haim. And like he was like the nerd, and he like cut grass, and he tried to be around all the cheerleaders and football players.
I
and
don't
they
remember that movie.
Yeah, no,
I know Breakfast Club.
Breakfast
and
Club.
Like 16 Candles.
You know what else
License
came
to
on?
Drive used to come on.
You know
all
what
the
else
time.
came on all the time? Bill Cosby himself, like when he did that
comedy show,
and he sit down and like
that did used to come on all the
that
time.
used to come on all the
that
time.
mug was funny too.
There was
Raw used to come on all the time.
It did. If you stayed up late.
Yeah.
There was a movie called Just One of the Guys.
I remember that.
That was so stupid.
I do remember that coming out all the time.
No, because it was one of those movies where like, oh, sure, like let's just leave the teenagers in a house for a couple months.
Yeah.
While we go to Europe or whatever, and then the hijinks will ensue.
Like
One
Weekend-
Crazy Summer.
One Crazy Summer.
Weekend at
give
Bernie's.
me something long. Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend
Okay.
Bernie's was random.
Okay.
You know, an old like 80s,
Weird
it's
Science.
90s movie, Gladiator.
See, and see the thing is when you sometimes
With
you'll see
Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Gladiators coming on, and you'll think it's Gladiator. With,
Yeah.
I thought you was talking about with
No, we're
This is
talking-
before that.
It was the
yeah.
movie Cuba Gooding, I think, did right after Boys in the Hood.
I liked that movie a lot.
I did too. Brian Dennehy.
I used to watch it every time it came on.
Yeah.
But do y'all? But I'm trying to
Tommy Riley.
and here's another one.
give me something that's
The
like
Legend of
mad
Billie
disrespect.
Jean.
Yeah, that did.
That
used to come
came
on. I remember that.
with Helen Slater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember.
Terry,
that.
you said it was multiple ones. You got anything that stood out that was just that turned
I
out to
can't
be
think
mad
anything
disrespectful?
that was mad disrespectful.
I can't think of anything either.
The toy is mad disrespectful. That's why I wanted to ask. I'm like, is there something I'm missing that was
I mean,
turned
that
out
was
to be
kind of-
mad disrespectful?
It was so many of them. It's crazy. I can't think of it because I mean that was kind of the nature
thing.
of everything going on.
Yeah,
back then.
everything was just like it was.
I mean,
the wild,
when you,
wild
even
West.
TV shows, like when you think of the Jeffersons and Archie Bunker, them shows was mad disrespectful.
or even not even that. Like there was
Sanford and Son had
there was a
moments too.
show with Tom Hanks where
Bosom buddies.
where like he and his friend like they needed a place to live,
So they dressed up
as
like women. Yeah.
So
I don't
they
know
could
that
live
one.
in an all women's like apartment
Yeah,
complex.
sure did.
And
That
comedy hijinks and another guy's name, the other guy, Peter Scolari. He truly did not go on to be as
What about
big as
Trading
Tom Hanks.
Places?
Yeah, that
There's-
came on.
there are
That's that. Now we talking.
There are things
now
that they
we
have
talking.
edited out of Trading Places.
Really?
Now we talking. Now we talking, Lone.
Yeah.
That's the lane I'm trying to go down.
Yeah, I like that one. Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy and Dan Aykroyd.
That's a good movie, but it's definitely some messages in
I
that
think
movie.
the interesting thing about that is just like it's showing you exactly, excuse me, how it is.
Oh, it's authentic.
Oh, here's another one. This one was disrespectful. Blazing Saddles.
Yeah,
I don't
but
remember
But
that.
you know what? Even,
I gotta watch it again.
But even it blazing, because the thing is with when he said trading places,
yeah,
it really was a snapshot of what was going on at that
Yeah,
time.
that
facts.
was.
Yeah, facts, 100%.
Like you could see something like that happening.
Blazing Saddles is like satire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Trading Places is closer to
Trading
what I'm
Places
talking about with
is-
the toy.
you're
It's like a bunch of white people who are just let's flip these guys around just for fun.
Yeah.
And laugh at them as we sit on millions and
For-
millions and
for a
millions.
dollar.
Remember the movie where the dude
Yeah, for
was
$1.
a black man the whole movie? What was that called? Where he
Oh,
painted himself black?
Soul Man.
Soul Man, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. When you see that, mind you, that came out in like 87, 88. You're
Yeah.
like, who said yeah? And the thing is, you had people who should have. I'm not saying should have known better, but let's see, who was in it? 𝗡𝗲𝗄𝗏 and Radon.
man, you really naming the character.
No,
the
because it was one of
names.
those. It came on a pretty regular basis if
Yeah.
you had cable.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember this.
James Earl Jones is in the movie.
Yeah, he sure is.
You know, and
Naughty Pie said the Three Amigos,
Three Amigos was pretty lame. It was pretty tame.
but he says that he thinks
As
that
far
falls
as
in
kind of going at Hispanic culture, probably,
yeah, I think that's what Naughty
'Cause
Pie.
I mean, there were three
Yeah.
white dudes.
Called the Amigos. Yeah.
and they were over the top
With
trying
Mexican
to,
garb on.
Yes,
Oh, I got one.
Yeah,
Like with if you look at them now, you'd be like, "Oh, are these guys in a mariachi band?"
What's up,
What you
Chris?
got, Lon?
What's up, Chris? What's the movie with where Billy Crystal and he goes out west and
City Slickers.
City Slickers.
yeah, I don't even remember that, but
You think that might fall in it?
I don't.
category?
I have no idea. I just wanted to say
Oh,
that.
Billy
I like
Crystal really didn't do any like.
How about the
movies
entire
that
show
were-
Seinfeld,
Wow! Shout out to Living Single.
like this
By the way.
the soup Nazi episode.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No soup for you.
Papi Amon says Young Guns.
I don't
I
remember that.
anything
I can't
being
remember
really
that one
just
either.
Wild
Yeah.
and Young Gun.
I don't either.
Yeah.
It was
I don't
all
know.
white dudes, and then the Native American dude.
Hmm.
What was his name?
How about Pocahontas?
Because he played in La Bamba.
Oh, that's right.
I'm serious. Pocahontas would be one.
Pocahontas.
I mean, like a lot of what is. I mean, I think we talked about
Like
how
the white savior movies.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of those.
I think when you even think about I think we talked about how disrespectful the Dick Tracy cartoon was. Remember when? Remember when Dick Tracy came? Like it was a big deal because it was like the blockbuster that came after Batman, and they're going to do it all.
They
out
were
blitz.
mad disrespectful.
And people hadn't watched this cartoon since the 60s, and they didn't realize just how completely racist it was.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't even remember that movie, honestly.
When you look
I
at Dick-
remember it, but I don't remember
Warren
it.
Go
Beatty,
look at the sketches.
They tried.
Talking about Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Dick Tracy?
No, they
Dick
actually
Tracy.
did the Dick Tracy live action movie.
Yeah, I remember because Madonna was the woman in there,
Yeah.
or the love interest.
Yeah,
don't
but then
remember
they said, oh, just like we brought back this 60s Batman show when Batman came out, we can bring back. And basically, it was all these racial stereotypes that would actually do all the work, and then Dick Tracy would show up and say, "Good job! I'm glad we were able to save." And it was like,
Like Lone Ranger.
it was worse than that. It was worse
That's
than
good.
that.
That's good.
Because
I like that one.
it was like a super Asian stereotype and then a super Hispanic, and they would do all the work, and they'd have like the big buck teeth and
The old cartoons
and
are
speaking
bad.
broken English.
Yeah, the
like,
old
but mind
cartoons
you,
are-
this is and so but they thought this was a good idea to bring back in like
Right.
1990.
Bruh.
I think it actually did good in the box office though, because they
Oh,
had,
no, but Dick
they had
Tracy
toys and everything.
Dick Tracy was. I remember there was a
even
there was a
remember
Sega Genesis game, and
But dog, go look at the old the early
Warren
sketches.
Beatty played
those
Dick
those
Tracy.
are bad.
Oh, I can't.
oh yeah, well there's like
What about Deliverance? No,
no,
but think about it. I mean, it is kind of painting a stereotype, isn't it?
of poor whites.
Wow. You know what happens in the movie, right?
Well, yeah,
I don't even remember.
I got to go
Deliverance.
back. It's been a while, man.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
you have to go back to your.
There's
you'll
one.
have to- I can't.
yeah, we're not going to talk about it here.
Can't describe it really. I mean, but yeah. Shots to Naughty Pie. He also said like all those old rapey movies, kind of like Porky's.
Oh yeah.
You know, like Animal House and stuff like that.
Oh, I've said this probably on this show before that when you watch Revenge of the Nerds, you realize the nerds are the villains
Yeah.
of that movie.
yeah.
Like they
See, now I
the
gotta go
stuff
now.
that they did wrong. I mean, the alpha betas were just having a good time. Like the nerds were criminals.
Yeah, they was. They was doing anything they could to get a blast.
Now I
Yeah,
got to go
so-
back and watch some of these movies and see if I can find some of these hidden messages that we missed.
Stripes, probably.
Yeah,
There's some moments in Stripes. Yeah.
Porky's had a video game on Atari.
I mean,
what?
Yes.
Yeah. Luckily, it was so low fidelity,
right?
That even
there is a game with that.
There is a depiction of the shower scene, but it's it's
on a video game.
It's Atari.
Yeah, it's pixelated.
You can't tell what's really going on.
Yeah,
but like the fact that they're but this is before there was any kind of regulation, or they were just okay.
Hey, man, it's just
80s was a weird time.
It's
man.
just boys being boys, man.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're gonna do. That.
Anything went in the 80s, though. Honestly, like think of like even the artists that came up during the 80s. Everybody just looked a certain type of way. They did whatever they wanted to do. Doing cocaine was in. Like
no,
that was in.
I did an event, this corporate event this weekend with Top Speed, and somebody said, hey, "Can you play some some 80s rock or whatever?" And like, I know he knew what he was doing. It was so funny to me. I don't know if it was caught on the people who were out there. He played 17 by Winger.
Yeah.
Where like the chorus is like, she's only 17. Her daddy says she's too young, but she's old enough for me. Like it's a whole song about basic. And I remember hearing the song on the radio. 17 by Winger. Like
he definitely did that on purpose.
It's the 80s, baby.
Yeah. So I was like, I remember seeing this video on MTV. Nobody said, hey, the age of consent is different in every state. Maybe we should shut this down.
They weren't worried about it.
So the stupid liberals taking my music, off there.
I can't sing about having sex with 17-year-old girls as a grown man.
Stupid, the woke mob out here making things.
Oh man, that's how they sound, huh?
Yeah.